Hey, what's up, everyone? GleeCon coming at you one more time. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, as always, to this little ditty here that we call Lore of Warcraft, a show where we cover everything in the World of Warcraft universe, every game, every bit of lore, canon and non-canon alike. It doesn't really matter. We try to cover it all. We even dropped. It's not the first time, but we did some video kind of recaps of some things that we've watched, and we can watch them together. In the World of Warcraft Classic playthrough, which we've been doing a while, we are probably, I don't want to jinx myself because I did last time, we're getting really close to wrapping up Stranglethorn Vale, but we're taking our character here, Gleekantessa, our human rat paladin, and as she gets these last couple quests done, she's also been working on her blacksmithing, and that is time consuming. So stay a while and listen as we kind of work on continuing that. We're up in the hinterlands. We really only have 2 or 3 quests left to go. Really not a lot. The reason why we're here is because we have to go finish off the Cortello's Riddle chain. But while we're here, well, we're gonna do a run through. We're gonna do a loop of the ore, because we also need all the ore for all these different blacksmithing type quests too. We do have to eventually get ourselves back to Booty Bay to try and learn some more blacksmithing. Hopefully there's some things we can learn while we're there. There's not a lot else. We have to do the Stone of the Tides, which we can do right on the way out. We have to get some things for the Green Hills of Stranglethorn. There's still just a little bit of work. I think I want to go to the bottom path. Last time I kind of went in a clockwise manner. I think I'm going to go counterclockwise this time. So basically, if you hug the edges, maybe a little bit of picking up here and there, you can get some mithril. I think last time we got somewhere in the neighborhood of, excuse me, of around 20, 25 mithril. We did run into another farmer along the way. This route that we're going is the traditional route, the counterclockwise route. So I'm a little bit worried. There's a legitimate concern that this might cause us to, run into a situation where someone else is already farming, and so we don't get a lot. And if that, that is what it is. I also mentioned we were going to just pick up some ore whenever we could find it. We do have to visit the auction house one more time, just in case we can find some those last 2 pages we need, because that's what could really this little loop we're going to do right now. Well, yeah, that's time consuming. It'll take us, probably to finish this quest and do this loop. We're probably looking at somewhere in the ballpark of 30 minutes, unless, as has been the case thus far, we get no luck on our ore, because right now I haven't seen any yet. Oh, if Sandra says, "Come forth, ye dreamers, and claim your vengeance," I wonder if that means like one of the dragons of Nightmare has spawned. Hard to say. What do we got? Oh, I see a mithril. Howdy doody. All right, so we'll come in here. Excuse me. Apologized yesterday. I apologize again. My voice is not at 100% right now. Just a lot of sickness going around. I think I've been more or less successful in fighting it off, but I also was out in the elements a lot today, and just really windy and cold. So I kind of have a little lingering and just a lot of having to raise my voice. We got 4 mithril here, so I think that's affecting my overall. But I did get out moving and bustling, so that right when I got home, I had dinner and then I hopped on this. So wanted to try to get a long play in the middle of the week. I did make a kind of a goal to myself that I was going to get these in whenever I didn't have a ton of other stuff going on, and I had everything buttoned up by the time I got home, and today was a situation like that, so I wanted to stay true to my word to myself and to you great viewers out there. All right, so let's see what we can get out of our second node. Only two. Okay, so we got 6 in total. Not too shabby, you know, all things considered. Came in this little, I don't know, this little mini temple area and managed to pick up 6. I keep ignoring that. I think that's Sunken Temple. We're just not doing that anytime soon, so I don't want it sitting in my quest log forever. All right, we're going to break out of here now and continue our loop. Back up. I mean, you can kind of head up that way too. So another thing that's going to slow us down really is that when we get down there, I kind of want a hearth. I mean, we're going to be tackling this in 2 ways. You know, we're going to tackle it with the power of the gold coin by purchasing the mithril that we need, but we're also going to do it with good old-fashioned grinding like we are right now. The problem is that it's just so much, and I really want to get these blacksmithing quests done. Once it's just a matter of leveling our skill, I can be a little more patient, especially since mithril is going to drop for a long time from now until close to the end of the game, really. All right. Oh, I just ran right up on a troll and a vile branch. Oh, that's his pup. I was gonna say, why are they both aggroing? That wolf wasn't that close. It's because they're tethered together. There we go. Alrighty. I did see there's some kind of dog companion that's basically gives you in retail right now that gives you your own kind of pet. Kind of neat, but I also feel like they could probably... Oh, we only got 2 out of that one too, so we're up to 8. I feel like there's got to be some better art assets right now available out there in the world. All right, I think what I'm going to do is once I hit this edge right here, I'm going to kind of cut over because I'm not going to do a whole loop. Actually, I changed my mind. Because once I get down to the bottom of that waterfall for Cortello's Riddle, I don't want to come back up it. So I'm going to hearth at that point. When we're back in Stormwind, it's just going to get us closer to our ultimate path where we need to run down to the north of Stranglethorn for the Throne of the Tides. Alright, I'm going to cut over now. A lot of the times in these ruins, you can find some, both within and without. Oops. Heart of a car in 10 minutes. Yeah, so I have finally finished Tanaris. There's actually a pretty decent amount of quests I haven't done. But that's because there's a huge chunk of really the final, you could say, you could consider it the final quest line in the game. Happens in Tanaris by the Bronze Dragonflight. Talk about it more when we do that zone. But it's the Gates of Anchorage. I'm still going to try and do that quest line for us. Oh, we got an iron. I did say, I think... I think that some steel... Yeah, the steel plate helm can still bring us some goods, so I'm still going to get iron where I can. Excuse me. I have 3 iron bars. I mean, it's going to be a lot. I think it's 14 iron for that, so no promises, but it'll be. All right, so we're going to be at 7 total. We're about halfway through. We'd need at least 2 more nodes, 3 more nodes. No, 2, minimum 2. But most likely around 3. So I feel like the chances that we can find 3 iron nodes is not nothing, especially when we get back to Stranglethorn also. All right, this mountain at the north here is where we really got lucky last time. There we go. Gold we don't really need. True silver is where it's at right now, but I won't say no to some more mithril. Excusez-moi. Our mining is getting... Oh, we only got 2 points again. I think that brings us to 10. The mining's 257. We're getting closer and closer to that goal of 300. The only thing we have 300 in, I believe, is cooking. We had to do that for the Christmas. The Winter Vale line. Yeah, so I dropped a video. The video before this one is called The Burdens of Shao Hao. And that is kind of neat. So basically they do a 6-part video line when they were about to drop Missa Pandaria. And I think the whole goal of it is, why do we suddenly... You know, ever since Warcraft 3... there's been the Pandaren. And so, and really, we're talking like beginning of Warcraft 3, because if you look at the old D&D books we read, the source material books, the Pandaren are like a playable race even back then. Should I open this Horde supply crate? What's going to be inside it? Freaking pumpkins and juice. Excuse me, so nothing good. Oh, we got a true silver now. That's worth it. Last time we had a node here too, but this is true silver. That's like very useful. Just because a lot of what we need, we're getting really bad luck on the nodes. I don't know if if those nodes are pure RNG or if there is like an element of time behind them, like it takes a certain amount of the longer that a node sits untouched. I don't think so. I suspect it's just RNG, but I don't know 100%. Okay. Well, that's a neat little sunset right there as we get near Ceridine. So you can just see it through the hills of the hinterlands. I've been reading a lot of raiding. I don't know what made me get into this, but I think I was kind of forward thinking to just some talking points as we run around on this show. But one of the days over the weekend, while I was just going from point... I forgot! Oh, they freaking one-shotted me. Or there was 3 of them. Yikes. I just straight got. I got hit by 2 at the same time is what it is, but they each hit me for 2,000 damage. Oh my gosh. So the fact that the 2 hit me at the exact same time is why I didn't even see them. Just ran right up on those bad boys. So that's the downside of going up around the Ceridine area for ore. It's just chock full of level 60 elites. So yeah, and we just came right around the corner here on this side of the river, and I wasn't really thinking, and they were blocked by the trees, and I just walked right into them. So I guess if you're playing hardcore, don't go there. It's not worth the risk. I mean, actually, they're probably above level 60, because I think there's still question marks for me. I wonder if they're level 62 or something. Because I think it's like 20% of your level. Anything that's more than 20% above appears as a question mark. And since I'm level 50, you would think I could see level 60s. Because level 60 is still 20% above. Well, what I was talking about before I got there was, yeah, I started thinking about ranking the all of the zones of World of Warcraft Classic, and it's highly subjective. So there are 40 total zones, and I think I would have to really take out a paper and pencil to determine what how I would rank these zones. But I think you could. I mean, I think we could kind of. Oh my gosh, there's. Well, we are. This is a bad time for it because. Well, we got some mithril right behind us. At least there's that. I died for this mithril. So I don't know if it's just mobbing deep right now because Ysera was talking to us, and I don't know what the story was there. Okay, we got 3 that time. But we gotta be careful. See, they're everywhere. I feel like there wasn't as many when we came over here before. Jeez. And of course, we're so low, the aggro from so far away. Yikes. I'm trying maybe cutting over to the other side. Maybe the other wall is a little bit less fraught with dudes right now. There's just a lot of dudes out here right now. Okay. Does kind of worry me about how much it's really going to be worth it. I feel like I got to kind of zoom in some to check mobs. See, there's some right there. And they blend in, you know. They're all green. Okay. That's like so close. That was scary. Oop, there's some more. Just stay away from the mobs. I'm very much keeping myself open to the strong possibility that this is a second suicide run. I mean, we're up to 17 though, so we've already made good just in this one loop. Those guys. Get me setting up in my chair a little bit here. The high risk, I guess, I don't know if you can call it high reward, but medium reward. Just going by foot, even though I don't know that that's better. It's like a little pack back here, if I remember. There's a little path. And it, don't remember how full it is. Kind of on the back end of it. Let me get back up on my horse. I want to be able to run if I have to. See those mobs right there already scaring me. Okay, I think I made it through. Yeah, you just have to hug the sides. Really. Yeah, and see then they kind of pat over to one side. Let me get back on the horse. Pat over, you can maybe get there. But I don't know if there's anything up in there. I think there was when we did it that last time. I think there was, but I'm not sure. This is like where the dragon's at, I think. Yeah, see? I think we found one? No, I don't know. Alright, we did not get one this time. Now I gotta run all the way down. Now, there was a lot up in that corner. So if I can make it down without dying, maybe. Stressful. Alright. See what we can find here. There are some, it's weird because there are patches where there's definitely dudes. Yeah. But then there are patches where it's like pretty chill. They're just spaced apart because it's almost like raid distances, you know. I think up in this top right corner there wasn't a ton. But then I think as you went further down, there were a couple nodes. So I think that's what I'm gonna suss out right now. If we find any other nodes. All right. It's tense. I feel like I'm watching a horror movie. Like where I'm the person that's going into the room, or like I'm telling my friends let's split up or whatever. Like I'm doing all the tropes you should never do. Don't run into a zone full of 60 elites. Just don't do it, man. And I just don't listen. Alright, okay, we made it out of Death Zone. Back to the good side of the river. And we're just gonna hoof it over straight. I might make a little loop of a circle right there before I head down. You could, I think you can jump down really if you want, but I'm not gonna do that. Oh, there's a mithril. It looks like it's appearing as gray, so I might have to go in this cave for it. Yeah. Seems like a lot of work. Oh, it's on that side. Yeah, I'm not doing it. It's like the back, and that looks like it was. Oh, well, there's mithril above ground. Let's go grab that. But it looked like there's maybe 2 nodes of mithril in there. Only 2, man. Alright, so we've got 19. Pretty solid. Ooh, we're only at 57 gold, so we are losing some gold. Alright, heading across. We're going to go up near there and then make our way down that, and that will allow us to climb down. I think it's probably likely we can get a couple more nodes, which will put us right about where we were last time. So that means a good loop, a good thorough loop through this little set can net you, like I said, around 25-ish mithril. We did get bad luck this time since we're bad RNG, if you will. Considering more of the nodes were 2 than any others that we had. I think we actually might have got more nodes than we got last time. But last time we got lucky with a lot of 4s. This time not so much. Alright, so if you want, you can just jump off. I've done this on another character. You can just jump off this waterfall. But we're going to play it safe. The stealthing you hear, there are all these prowlers. We'll be killing them. This is our next zone. We have to finish, we have to do Stranglethorn and his horde, so that'll take us a little bit of time, but all things considered, as long as we don't get totally shafted on finding our Green Hills of Stranglethorn pages, we're going to finish this zone today. I don't know where we're going to get. Probably won't be doing another one until the weekend, but that will be when we start the next one. I'm going to be running Zul'Farrak soon, probably over the weekend in my my trial run account. Yeah, we got none on that whole lip, so totally wrong on that one. I really thought we'd get something. We got nothing. So we're going to come out of this with around 19 mithril. And we already have in our bag 13. Not too shabby. Even if I could get one more, that'd be cool because we'd have a 20 stack, but it's not meant to be. All right, so we already came out here once for the Papi Pavulos wine or whatever, so we're going to have to remember there's Gamarita for the Horde quest, Gamaritamon. We'll do that quest. We play Horde. And if you remember, the reward for this is a nice 14-slot bag, so we could put that to use for sure. And there you go. You can kind of already see it under the water. There it is, this chest. You open the chest to discover an explorer's knapsack. That's kind of silly that that pirate chest, that's what they're hiding. Yeah, we can't actually use it right now because our other bags are full. All right, here we go. We're going to now hearth back to Stormwind. And we've completed Cortello's riddle. I always call it Cortello, but Cortello's. So let's go ahead and check that bad boy off as we get near the bottom. All right, so what do we got to do here? First, we're going to go to the auction house and see if we can buy any of those Green Hills of Stranglethorn pages. You never know. People love playing the auction house, and I'm glad they do. Okay, we need pages. 21 and 24. Thank the Lord they're both there, guys. Just got to be patient and lucky. Okay, for 10 silver, we get one. 6 silver, we get another. So that's about 7. Okay, now let's check out how much a mithril bar is. 20 stack of mithril bars is 8.5 gold. That's cheaper than it was for us last time. Mithril ore, altogether we can get 7 gold for 2. All right. I'm actually gonna, I think I'm gonna buy a 40 total. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna buy 50. I'm gonna buy everyone that's at that rate of 315. So that's good. Now we did just spend about almost 20 gold over to, nah, maybe it's more like 10. So some solid gold we just spent there. And we're gonna open it up in the old banky poo. Opening all lockboxes, you say? I don't have any. Okay, I love that. We have our pages. Fantastic. We're going to need some more of those black orbs. Black pearls, but don't have to worry about it quite yet.
Welcome to the Bank of Stormwind.
All right, what do we have here?
Deposit boxes for valuable items. Do you already have an account with us, ma'am?
Let's see. Okay, we got room for that for a second, just so I can take this and put that there. Okay. Now I can take those. Put the true silver ore in there also. Alrighty. Yeah, we need some more heavy. Oh no, we already bought the thick leather, so it's just going to come down to needing. Oh geez, what's it called? I need to go smelt this up right now. It's just going to come down to needing some of those black pearls. I think that's really all we need. Plus more ore, of course. I think altogether you need 400, give or take. It might be way off. It might be more like 600. I'm not sure. I can't remember. You need a lot. Because we need to level up the... We need to get our blacksmithing up higher. We're going to go smelt our brains out right now. Then we're going to fly down to Westfall so that we can go get the Curse of the Tides. I love that Chapter 3 is complete. We're also going to go turn in while we're up there. We're going to turn in Chapter 3, and then we're going to read the story and do the whole Green Hills of Stranglethorn. We're also going to see if we can get some help for Negolash. I believe I have the buzzard wings. Did I put them somewhere? I don't see them. Did I just put them in my bank? Lord, I hope so, because I do not see the buzzard wings. Oh, there they are. Oh, I need that for the quest. I gotta save that ornate mithril stuff. I was scared for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I got couple more true silver. Get some iron. We're going to do the Stone of the Tides. And yeah, so that's good. So we'll get some good storying to read today. And then let's smelt all 69 mithril. I think I just... Like 50 of that was... Yeah, 50 of that just came from this. Alright, so let's pop over. Do a little research here. What can we research? You know what? Instead of researching, we'll talk about what I dropped off on. So, ranking all of the zones. So I think if I was going to do it in real time, without... I think I would need to break it down kind of in the same way that we break down the tiers of the game. So I broke down the overall play structure into 8 tiers. I think we could rank our zones in 8 tiers. So at the bottom being, you know, the worst of the worst, the best being the best of the best, and then having shades thereof as we work our way in. Each category, if we made them as buckets, we could work our way out. So the bottom 4 would be like worst of the worst. This would have to be zones I actively hate going to. Like I just groan and roll my eyes. And honestly, there's not a lot that fit that bill for me. I don't know that there are any that really fall into the category of just like, this does nothing for me. Not just does nothing for me, but that, like, I just don't want to go. I would say more than anything else for me, it's probably going to do with accessibility. How much of a pain in the butt is it to travel to such and such a place? Or when I'm there, how hard is it to navigate that zone? Now, as far as Classic goes, most of the places are pretty terrible to navigate. So, I really, again, there's not a lot. I can make a bucket of... Now, there's definitely a bucket of zones that are like, well, there's just not a lot going on there. So you got to take Moonglade and Deadwind Pass. They're going to go in the bottom bucket for me, I think, because as of right now, there's nothing in Deadwind Pass. It's just a transition zone. And Winter Spring just has, I mean, Moonglade just has a couple Druid quests and the Lunar Festival quests, so nothing. Aesthetically, I like both. They're small and easy to navigate. I would put Deadwind below Deadwind is below Moonglade just because Moonglade at least has those couple things I mentioned. It has some interesting shops. It has, and those quests I mentioned. So I'd say at the bottom of the 40, I'll put Deadwind Pass just because it's vacant. It's just a placeholder. And then second, we'll put Moon. I keep wanting to say Winter Spring. Moonglade. I don't know why there's like this, almost a synonym type effect in there for me for that. Those two places. All right, so that opened up our spots just a pinch. We can probably build some more stones too while we're here. Not smelting, blacksmithing. Some grinding stones, heavy grinding stone, solid grinding stone. All right, so what else is very close to being just a placeholder? It's my understanding that Azshara fills that category as well. I literally do not remember doing almost anything in there. We have had one. There's a little bit of questing. There are a couple quests that send you out there, but really not a lot. And then there's a couple times you have to pass through there, but as a zone, and I actually like the aesthetic. I like Azshara. It can be difficult to navigate, so there's that piece of it, but I just guess in comparison to all the others, it just doesn't have, and now questing is my heart and soul, so that's how you can see these are already shaping up. How is the questing experience? How does it feel while you're there? And in Azshara, there's just not a lot to it. That being said,
and the prices are set, so if you want to haggle, then go find a goblin.
Selling that at least. Okay. Guess that's okay for now. Alright, so that gets us 3 in our bottom category. I'm trying to think if there's any other zones where it's just 5 seconds and you're done, or there's little to nothing there. The only other one is, I guess, and I'm torn on this one, because while people don't like Swamp of Sorrows, I actually think all of the questing for Sunken Temple and the Warcraft Orcs and Humans lore behind Swamp of Sorrows is really cool. But I guess just because of its sheer, there's just not that much going on, I would say.
These great beasts know paths that you can't find on foot. They'll get you there.
Well, you know what? Cut that one out and put, let's put Silithid there. Silithus. Because I don't think there's a lot for Silithus. If you look at it, there's one zone right now. We have no quest. There are some. It's tough. What else am I missing? I'm just kind of peeking through. Kind of doing a cheat here. Mount Hyjal, there's nothing. I mean, I think there are some for Blasted Lands. Yeah, Swamp of Sorrows really does it dirty. I'm just, like I said, cheating and going through. Alright, I think that... Oh, Alterac Mountains. There you go. I was going to say, that allows me... So we'll put Alterac Mountains. Even though I like the zone, it's fine. It's barely a zone. You know, it's almost shouldn't be considered a zone as its own. Alright, so there we go. So we'll put the very, very bottom is Deadwind Pass, just because it's, like, not a zone. And then Moonglade, because if you're unless you're a druid, Moonglade is basically not a zone. Then the ones that are barely zones, I would say we got to actually put Ultrac Mountains next, because there's literally almost nothing there. Followed by Swamp of Sorrows will take our 4th place, which would be 37th ranked zone. Even though it's steeped in lore, there's just not a lot of questing. There's almost nothing for Alliance, and Alliance doesn't even get a flight path there. That's always annoying to me when a zone doesn't even have a true flight path. I mean, a faction doesn't. Okay, so there you go. Now, as we enter the next tier, I think now I'll put yeah, we'll put a Jara into this tier. Actually, you know what? We'll put a Jara as 37 because of the lack of quests for a Jara. It's basically an empty, devoid zone, but at least it's its own full zone with flight paths. So it's the best of that. Then as we enter the next tier, now we're like, which ones am I just being nice to, but they really did not have a lot of work done in them? Okay, so for that, we'll give... Oh man, that little dog out there. All right, we'll give Silithus that because I feel like it's just a spot for end game. It's kind of like a modern day. Oh geez, what do they call it in retail? Like in Shadowlands, that place you went to, the last zone that opened up at the end of that expansion, where you were like with the ethereal type dudes, and it was just grinding the same elites every day and dailies every day. That's what I don't like about retail is, well, it's not that I dislike it. Playing retail is fine. It's just, what are you doing? Are you playing retail in order to stay abreast of all the latest stuff? Because if that's the case, be prepared to just play the same zone and do the same dailies in the same zone for like a month each month. And then run the same dungeons and mythics and raids over and over, the same ones over and over and over and over for 2 years. Run the same 8 dungeons for 2 years, and the same whatever 4 raids, and to just bump your item level just a pinch. And I don't know. I don't like that. I like to explore the whole world. I'd rather set these other goals for myself that have these finite end lines. I don't like the fact that just, you can never attain it. All right, we're going to pause on my Silithus as we picked up. That was 36, because we get to finally turn in chapter 3.
Master Nesingwary has a big hunt ahead of him. I find helping him prepare for a day in the jungle is much more...
Any luck with pages 18, 20, 21, or 24? Those are the only ones we need to paste together chapter 3.
Oh, good work, adventurer. Chapter 3 is now back together in one piece.
Okay, so we just completed chapter 3 of the quests, which is going to allow us to turn in the Green Hills of Stranglethorn. However, let's read our books, because I think they disappear once we read them. All right, so first we're going to read chapter 1. Green Hills of Stranglethorn. Our first day went as well as one can expect first days to go. Most of our time was preoccupied with making the necessary arrangements to establish a base camp. I located an ideal setting by a freshwater river inlet. Judging by the old abandoned docks nearby, this site was inhabited some time ago. You can see right there. As for the original inhabitants, only time can tell that tale. For this expedition, I have assembled Ajek Ruak. That's her right there. And Sir S.J. Earl Gadin. Him. So that's Tiger and Panther, respectively. Along with my trusted servant, Barnel Stonepot. He is the guy that we are building the book for. I fought alongside Ajek's father side in many battles in defense of the Alliance. Seeing her grown is quite special. Her father schooled her well in the ways of weaponry. Her skills with a bow make me wonder if there's elven blood running through those veins. Sir S.J. Earl-Gadin comes from human aristocracy. His father, Count Earl-Gadin, was renowned for his generosity. It was the Count who lobbied for improved working conditions for the Stonemasons Guild during the restoration of Stormwind after the Second Great War. So, does he have ties to the Defias? Maybe. In the years that followed after Stormwind betrayed the Stonemasons Guild, Sir Earl-Gadin grew bitter about the role of the nobles within the kingdom. He no longer wished to uphold the position that his father's bloodline had earned for him in the House of Nobles. But I digress. The purpose of this story is not to act as a political treatise or a biography. This is the account of my experiences hunting big game in the Green Hills of Stranglethorn. Maybe explaining why he's neutral out here and works as a neutral faction that Horde can interact with. We rose with the sun. Barnel began to prepare the morning meal. I noticed Ajek's attention was somewhat distracted. The day's trek would be long, and our hunt would bring us close to danger. A lack of focus could easily lead to an errant mishap. Yet Ajek seemed unable to divert her gaze from Barnel, who stood by the edge of the river, rinsing out his mess kit. Just as I was about to question Ajek's lack of interest in the day's hunting strategy, she reached for her quiver, drew an arrow, and unleashed a shot right towards poor Barnel. But it was not Barnel that Ajek was shooting at, for when Barnel stepped aside, mouth agape, a large river crocolisk floated to the surface with Ajek's arrow perfectly placed between his two large eyes, and that shows you how that's the other type of game out here. We got those for the goblins. We set out toward the west, through the thick overgrowth of the tangled jungle, moving with slow, deliberate steps. We paced through thick foliage in search of prey. The morning passed in frustrated silence. Nothing was stirring in the vale, not even a breeze. By the afternoon, the expedition had grown restless. Barnel no longer strode with the cautious steps of a predator tracking prey. Rather, he clumsily clumped along the path, often stepping noisily on dried leaves or fallen branches. During one such misstep, Earl-Gadin laid a heavy hand on Barnel's shoulder. Ajek and I gave a casual glance, assuming the man was simply giving Barnel a much-needed scolding for his carelessness. Earl-Gadin, however, gestured slowly with his head toward a nearby fallen tree. Gazing back at us were two piercing black eyes just above a mouthful of razor-sharp fangs. I'm guessing that is a panther, and that's the end of Chapter 1. Time to read Chapter 2. The beast was a male Stranglethorn tiger. So just as they begin their hunt with the tigers, really the crocolisks are the easiest, and now the tigers would be the second most difficult, and that's what they're going to hunt second. Before I could cock my rifle, Earl-Gadin raised his crossbow and fired upon the beast. The bolt missed its mark and caught the beast heavily in the left flank. The tiger made a futile attempt to flee, but its wound was too grave. The beast stumbled for a few tragic seconds until Barnel finished the kill with a thrown axe. And that's kind of neat because between the four of them, you have all four ranged weapon types represented in the game. You have Ajek with a bow, Earl-Gadin with a crossbow, of course Hemmet Nessingmary himself here with guns, and even Barnel uses thrown weapons. The kill brought about a festive mood amongst the expedition. Barnel poured mead for all to enjoy, but our festivities were short-lived. As we were preparing the corpse for transport back to base camp, we were all caught off guard by a horrendous growl. In all my years, I have never heard anything so blood-curdling. On a rocky precipice above, silhouetted by the setting sun, I could make out the largest cat of prey I have ever laid eyes upon. I was able to loose one clumsy volley with my rifle, but the cat held his ground. He growled once again, this time louder than the first, and vanished. We gathered our belongings and headed solemnly back to camp. Now that could be anything. That could be the leader of the tigers. It could be a panther. It could be the leader of the panthers. It could be the leader of the big game hunt. I had promised the expedition that we would spend the next day hunting panthers, as their furs are in high demand throughout Azeroth. It only makes sense that such demand should exist, with all of the able-bodied hunters, trappers, and fur traders off giving their lives so valiantly in the name of the Alliance. Okay, so what they hunt now, third, I guess you could say, is the third hardest thing. Ajek and Sir Earl-Gadin were anxious to learn how to hunt effectively with a dwarven rifle. I had the two humans leave their primitive ranged weapons at base camp. Barnel and I outfitted them with some of Ironforge's finest firearms. On this day we ventured to the south following some fresh panther tracks. Soon we reached a ravine spanned by a tremendous rope bridge. I could not help but to think of Brand's descriptive writings of this region when I saw the engineering marvel. So often it was assumed that the native trolls were a primitive and uneducated race, yet as I gazed upon the master craftsmanship of the bridge, I was able to recognize the skill with which the troll builders overcame the seemingly impossible feat. You can see them right there. So maybe they didn't travel that far. Before long, a jet tracked the panther to the southwest. We walked quietly, guns at the ready, in anticipation of our prey. A snapping of twigs from a nearby copse of trees drew our attention immediately. Something was in there. One stern glance at Barnell was enough to convey my thoughts. Barnell slowly lowered his rifle. The kill was not for us. It was for our human companions. Countless panthers had lost their lives in front of our smoking barrels. This kill would be for the humans. While the Jack and Sir Erlgedin stood poised, guns leveled at the bristling overgrowth at the base of the swaying trees. The midday sun beat heavily down upon us. A slow trickle of perspiration trailed down from Erlgedin's temple as he pulled the pin back. Upon the sound of the click, the thick flora parted and a large black panther, a beautiful specimen, darted out into the plain. And that's the end of chapter 2. Now here's chapter 3 that we just finished as they continue their panther hunt. The humans trained their sights on the panther as it ran along the edge of the tree line. The barrels of their guns moved in perfect parallel tandem. Barnell gave me an urging glance, but I shook my head no. This hunt was for the humans, not Barnell or me. Erlgedin fired a booming shot, missing the panther altogether. Apparently he was unprepared for the violent kickback of the rifle blast. His gun tossed back violently in his arms. The barrel swooped sideways and came up beneath Ajak's rifle. Ajak had chosen that exact moment to pull her trigger. The rifle, the aim now knocked clumsily toward the tree line, went off with a distinct boom. A flock of birds screamed out of the canopy, scattering in every direction. A plume of smoke rose from the tree. We watched in awe as a tremendous branch fell squarely on the fleeing panther, breaking its back, coincidentally killing it. As the weeks passed, our stockpile of panther and tiger skins grew immense. I decided it was time for the expedition to shift our focus to a new challenge. Raptors. The humans, while appreciative of the training Barnell and I offered, decided to refrain from hunting with firearms. Ajak was much more comfortable with a finely strung bow, and Sir Erlgedin never left camp without his sturdy crossbow. We set out at first light, heading south past the Takashi ruins. Barnell voiced concern that we might encounter members of the Bloodscalp tribe. I reminded Barnell that the Bloodscalps were more concerned with destroying their tribal enemy, the Skull Splitters. Needless to say, Barnell was not comforted in the least. I, however, had a loaded rifle, a satchel full of gunpowder, and 3 deadly hunters with me to ease any concerns of an unfriendly ambush. Yeah, and we know that the Bloodscalps are to the north, and they're easier, and the Skull Splitters are more in the middle. And we murdered a lot of both. I stood before a towering infernal on the battlefield, the army of the Burning Legion advancing from all directions. An unruly band of trolls seems as harmless as a jackrabbit in the hills of Dunmorog. We passed the Takashi ruins without event, much to Barnell's relief. The party proceeded to head westward toward the Great Sea, skirting the ruins of Zulkunda just to the south. As we ascended the high sea bluffs, we spotted our first raptor. The beast never so much as detected our presence. In fact, the only greeting he received from the expedition was a bullet between the eyes. Sir Erlgedin let out a hearty hurrah as Ajak nodded toward me with keen approval. I sifted through my pack in search of my pipe, hoping to enjoy a celebratory smoke. Barnell began to scurry up the hillside to retrieve the raptor's corpse. I stared at the fallen beast with the satisfaction that accompanies every big kill. But I could not bask in the glory of the kill for long, for when I turned my eyes toward the horizon, several silhouettes appeared, cresting the hill just above poor Barnell. "Flee, Barnell!" I shouted. Ajak, Sir Erlgedin, and myself loosed a volley of bullets, arrows, and bolts over Barnell and toward the pursuing raptors. One of us landed a kill amidst the confusion. I guess they're calling for help, kind of what they do. Our hastily aimed shots were enough to buy Barnell's escape. Barnell clambered back down the hill and rejoined the party. We scurried off into the jungle, a pack of ferocious lash-tailed raptors stalking our every move. The hunters were now the hunted. That brings us to the finale chapter, which is only 5 pages. Chapter 4. I led the party toward the sea, hoping the shoreline would provide refuge from the raptors. In our haste, we had drifted too far north to a precariously high elevation. The mistake was made. The fault was mine. We stopped just short of a sheer cliff, the raptors just a few paces behind. I stepped slowly forward, gun raised. I had led these brave hunters to their death. I would die defending them. Lash-tail raptors are particularly fierce, known for their unrelenting bloodthirst. They far outnumbered us, but I would be damned if I let them kill me and my comrades without shedding some of their own blood first. Jack and Sir Earl readied their weapons, flanking me on either side, our backs to the sea. Barnold let out a defeated sigh and drew his axe. The lash-tails were almost upon us. Their steady stride had slowed. They were stalking their prey now, for they knew they had us trapped. And then something miraculous happened. From off to our side, we heard the distinct and terrifying roar of the great white tiger. Despite their numbers, the raptors turned and scattered in all directions. We saw but a brief white flash as the tiger darted past us and pounced on one of the raptors. No command needed to be given. All 4 members of our party knew it was time to run. We sprinted all the way back to base camp, never slowing. Later that night, we sat quietly around the campfire, knowing our lives had been saved by a bizarre twist of fate. Such are the risks of the big game hunter. We toy with fate by delivering it, yet each of us at some point will face fate's razor-sharp teeth. This dwarf is just glad that moment did not come upon the green hills of Stranglethorn. Also, how messed up is it? And then that their lives are saved by the white tiger, and as a reward for that, we kill everything and eventually go kill that same tiger.
You got my attention. See you soon.
Have you assembled the chapters yet, the Contessa?
You've certainly saved me a heap of trouble, adventurer. I can't thank you enough. It shouldn't be long now until we see Master Nessingwary's book in libraries throughout the world.
Alright, so we don't get that book, unfortunately. We do get these boots, which are actually a little bit worse. Our Iron Hill boots are just a little better. 10 strength, 9 stamina, and we've got them enchanted with a minor strength increase. However, we do have a thick armor kit. We can put this on our chest for sure. Give us some armor there. We got 2 thick kits. And my hands, why not? They're both solid. Awesome. All right, we have a little area here we can sell. Let's get rid of those boots. And let's get rid of these extra pages. Okay. All right, before we head on down to South Park. All right, now we got to go over to the Stone of Tides. Then we're going to have to march our way down to Booty Bay. And while we're down in Booty Bay, we're going to have to... I like that. Someone says, question, how hard is Hard Reserve? Oh my. Funny, funny, funny. Yeah, so there's the ranking conversation to get back to, but also... I was talking about the end game quests. I strongly want to, unless it's like prohibitively difficult, because I think there's a lot of raiding involved to get there, but there's the Gates of Encourage quest line. I just don't know how much it's going to take. If it's going to take a ridiculous amount of like grinding raids, then yikes. If it's just going to require like a little bit, then we'll be good. Alright, so... Oh, I need this as well. Now, we're more than strong enough to go swim down here on our own. I do not have any more potions of water breathing. We've long since used those bad boys up, right? Oh, what a flask of mojo up there. Get that out of here. Gross. That's just... Actually, I think there's... Well, it's vendor loot for us, but I do think it's a reagent. Okay, so... Actually... Whoa, I guess I was swimming underwater sooner than I thought. That right there. So this purple thing, you can see it on some of these other missions. It might be hard for us to get there. It's going to be tough. Now, it is surrounded by murlocs. However, they're gray. So we should be able to destroy the Stone of Tides. Oh. Okay, so this is Gazban. We gotta get... Oh, now he goes, now you've got me. You're gonna see the true Stone of Tides. Okay, so he turned into like a water elemental. He's just level 40 though. He's not like a... Okay. So, there you go. Now we loot it. So Gazban, the little goblin, which is weird. So a little goblin named Gazban. Now you're going in anger meet time to see the true force of the Stone of Tides. Why? What's the story there? Who the heck is Gazban? Why did he have the Stone of Tides? Just interesting. Kill Gazban. Alright, so you destroy the Stone of Tides. It summons Gazban. We hit him once. He turned himself into a water elemental. See, oh, they're going to kill the Green Dragon world bosses out there. Alright, so now we're going to make our way down to Negolash. And on top of the buzzard wings... Oh, he gave us a silk. On top of the buzzard wings, we need one more Popovelis port. Okay. I'm gonna wait just a pinch and see. Actually, I guess I should start. Oh, I don't want to get too close to that. Once I get on the road, I'll start advertising. I just don't want to do it too soon because we do have to pop into town. To buy that last single wine. That's a little bit annoying. And then we'll go turn in all this junk. We have the delivery to MacKinley to turn in. The Curse of the Tides to turn in. And facing Negolash. That's it. So we're very, very, very close now. It's just a matter of Negolash. We really need someone to help us kill that. I don't trust in my ability to kill it alone. So I'm not going to risk it. I would risk it if it was any of the other two, but since this one will require us to burn up all of these things, and I'm sure if we die, we'll still have a chance. If we get no biters, I'll try to kite them. Okay, I'm about to hit the road. Alright, so... Ask. We're going to put this down, see if anybody will get me, and I'll also put it out in looking for group. What's this? True silver. Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to take a divergent. I'm going to divert myself. I need that. True silver's too rare. And it's really worth. So we'll again broadcast a lot of the times if you get a little desperate and you just keep broadcasting. So I just whispered. Somebody says 2 of us. I don't. All right. Okay, cool. So we'll just. I don't know where they're at. All right. All right, so we got 1, and a rogue pally is a good combo, so we'll be able to do it. Okay. I don't know what. Invite. Oh, man. Let's try Mancrick. Ash Candy. Alright, so there you go. Oh yeah, we got a 55 now. Alright, so while we wait on on the road. Whoops, I capsed it up. Alright, so alrighty, so yeah, they're also asking on killing that big gorilla that we already killed, the King Muckluck or whatever his name is. But there's Clefty. Okay, so we'll turn in the quest after. I was going to turn him in 2. We need 1 more of this Jungle Vine wine. Oops. Okay, and then we'll be good. Yeah, so with the full party, 1 of which is a 55 hunter, we're going to be fine. They can honestly tank if they really wanted to. So Jungle Vine wine again is right here. Boom. Okay. Alright, so they're all, I mean, right there, so. Alright, so that was me. Sorry for the silence, guys. That was me just talking with this, trying to coordinate the people in this group. And yeah, this should be it. And then when we come back in, another thing that I have to remember to do is we're gonna, I want to talk to that blacksmith trainer. So that we grab our whatchamacallit, the whatever recipes we can get. And I think I have enough mithril now that I can get us to at least the 230 that we need, which we have a 240 recipe. I don't know that I have another recipe. Thought I did, but I'm not seeing one now. So yeah, we just have a 240. But I'm sure there are ones at the place. Person says, Cleft, I've seen you before. I feel like I've maybe seen some of these people also. Alrighty, so alright, let's go ahead and buff up all these guys. Okay, so here we go. I just gotta not die. That's my goal. Oh, I forgot I gotta add my third little buff on here. This is an abandoned lifeboat. Printed along its side is the scratch faded print of the word Smot's Revenge. You pile food and drink upon the raft. So that is summoning Negolash. I smell food. So somebody could be a real jerk and tag him, I guess, if they wanted. Okay. Ow, he got me. Okay. Go ahead and just already start laying in a heal on myself. Oh, man. Okay, I got a Divine Shield. We got him, though. Can already... Nailed him. We got Smot's Cutlass. Okay, so... Alright, so I guess we're going to head over there. So we'll head over here just to fight the gorilla for these guys, because we're actually good on time. We did this one. I kind of think Clefty might have been the person we did that one with. I don't remember. I mean, we'd be fine with the 55 doing it either way. Depending on your class, you can pretty much solo this guy. I soloed him with my druid. I soloed him with my mage. All these guys I soloed with those two. If you have a kiting class, all of these are fine. But yeah, we just got Smot's Cutlass. And then after this, it's just turning in these quests, messing around their blacksmithing, and we're good. No, there are those invisible panthers. Okay, they probably need to turn that in. Same deal in this situation. Oh yeah, I wanted to look at the spellbook because I realized that Divine Protection, see, it's a 1 minute, but it's a 5 minute cooldown, so you really should have 8 seconds. I really should have that one. It's the worst of the three, but it's something. Now they all share that forbearance cooldown, but the minutes, since they're all on 5 minute cooldowns, You need space. Space for what? Alright, so I guess we're... Kill King Kong. That's what I said. Alright, so we did it, guys. Sorry for my bad communication while we play. I'm just a little bit out of it today. Really, I'm just tired. Just a lot of work. My bosses bought me lunch today, actually. It was a really big bummer. They bought me lunch. Last week on Friday or something, they sent me an email. It's like, hey, you know, you're never going to get a promotion or anything like that, but we really appreciate the work that you do around here, and we would like to buy you lunch. So there's a deli nearby my job. Like it. It's probably my favorite place to eat in town. I was like, hey, yeah, I'll take a sandwich from the deli. Like, all right, we'll bring it to you tomorrow. They texted me. I didn't get a break today. I worked probably in it 11 hours, 10, 11 hours, something like that. I didn't get a break, so I never had a chance. They texted me and said, "Hey, we have it up." It's one of my bosses like, "Hey, I have your lunch for you in the office whenever you get a chance." I never got a chance, so I did not have one. I didn't have 5 minutes of free time today, so. Didn't even think about it till I got home. I'm like, oh great, my sandwich is either in their office still or sitting in a fridge somewhere. But I just couldn't. I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave what I was doing. I just never had an opportunity. So, bummer. Because I would have eaten that sandwich for lunch. Instead, I made this pie. Mentioned it. Underwhelming. Underwhelming pie. Not that great. Alright, this is Captain Huckleberry Smots. This is the stronger of the three quests. Okay, so we did Facing Negolash. Let's go grab that quest out of the bottom here. Enticing Negolash is what we just did. That's a repeatable quest to summon him on the boat using the buzzard wings and the wine. Did you get my cutlass, Gleekendessa? This is actually a pretty dang good trinket. You got my cutlass from Negolash. I can't believe my fortune, Gleekendessa. Needs just turned my luck to the better. No, make no mistake there. Thank you. If you ever get a new ship and you're looking to sail the sea, you should be my honored guest. Alright, I'm gonna put it on... It just gives you a 1% chance to dodge. I'm going to take that over the nifty stopwatch. I'm going to put it there just to remind myself that I have that. It is not a use item. It's a passive 1% chance to dodge. So it's pretty good. That's honestly the first solid trinket we've gotten so far. The others are just like basically, you know, single use items or whatever that have a half hour multi. Like this Thunderbrew boot flask. It's cool, but a 30-minute cooldown is. So anyway, Smot's Compass is cool. We got that one. Let's go turn in Deliver to MacKinley. And then we also got Curse of the Tides. So we're kind of... Oh, that's actually... Curse of the Tides is a 40 elite. Probably just because you have to get by elite mobs. So we're kind of going in reverse order with what these are worth.
Hey there.
It's totally cough up my booze.
Let's try this. I can't believe it. This stuff
Now
is
that-
durable. That's great. Well, I guess Stoli can keep the money he owes me. He's true to his word about Steam Weedle bilge rum. That stuff is as thick as gravel and burns like lava.
Alright, so these boots are actually better because they're plate, same strength, and we're swapping the stam for agility. I'm going to lose my buff, but whatever. And of course, I'll lose some hit points, but that is worth it. These shin kicker boots, I'll take it to add now I've got 3 pieces of plate. Okay, so deliver to MacKinley. We got that one done. We only have 1 quest left, actually, so I should delete all those others. Let us go up to turn in the Throne of the Tides or Stone of the Tides, Curse of the Tides, whatever it's called. Man, we just finished probably the longest zone in the game, arguably the coolest if we're going to be looking at the top of the trend wreck here. That's for when we do Zul'Farrak. We'll come back for that.
Welcome to Booty
We need to come back here a lot anyway.
I hope your stay in my town is enjoyable and uneventful. Emphasis on the latter.
Have you retrieved this Stone of Tides for me,
Bouncers if you're antsy.
Glee Contessa?
What can this humble servant of
I've already cleared out a space and purchased a fine stand for it.
Amazing! The Stone of Tides. It shall have a place of prominence in my
Pretty solid robe.
control artifacts. Did you see how it almost seems as though a tide is trapped within its surface? Magnificent.
Like nothing. No story behind that. I don't love that. Okay, so we're going to now go over to old Blacksmith McGee's axe over here. So we're going to sell this gorilla hair and that and the troll mojo. My old boots. Okay, now we're going to go up and find that blacksmith. Wherever he be. And then that's about it for today. Blacksmith up there. Nope. Over here. Matey. Let's get the silver. Then we get the bronze. Okay, let's
You need something?
What up? You act like this is the best job
All right.
I've ever seen.
so it's not until 2:30.
Have this okay every day.
Yikes.
Find a way to wow me, and I'll teach you things that make
Okay,
you
so
smile.
we need 4 points. That stinks. All right, so if I go with the axe, that's a total of 12 mithril. So I just need the cheapest thing, basically. 12 for the pants. 12 for the shoulders. 10 for the gloves. 12. Yeah, so there's just not really a lot. Now I could try and go 6 on the gauntlets there. So if I can get more than 1 every 2, I think it might be worth the risk. I don't have any steel right now. But if I do, I only have 7 iron. It's just not enough iron. Go stick that in the bank in a minute too. All right, so I think we got to go this. I think we got to go just these. We're going to see how many we can make, these heavy mithril gauntlets. Hopefully we can go 4 for 4. That's fingers crossed on that one. Because this is all... And this is just showing you, like, right now, there's nothing we can do. This is 30 or 24 at least mithril, and it's 24 with a little bit of a roll of the dice. So it's good that we bought some extra. Okay, we did gain a point. Good, so far so good. It's such anticipation too. It's like, huh? Are we? I'm glad we have all this mage weave already, because that would have been a pain. We would have had to go a different route. I mean, we could spend double the amount of mithril if we want to guarantee the level. But I feel like as long as we don't... Okay, good. 2 for 2. So far, so good. That's a 240. Oh yeah, I forgot we got that cool little Hammer of Expertise thing. What is that? Oh, thorium, which we can't do yet. All right, we just need 2 more points. So we've only spent 12 and we've gotten 2 points so far. So far we're doing pretty solid. It's actually the mithril, the mage weave holding us back, not the mithril bars. Okay, good. We're 3 for 3. So it's pretty much as good as we could have hoped for. We've spent 18 to get 3 points. And this is the real fingers crossed deal. And this will get us up to 230. I believe 230 is what we actually need to start working on some of these other quests. Any booty bay summons. All right, we did it. Okay, so we are going to sell now. We're going to sell these 4 pieces. So we made about a gold back. Not too shabby. All right, and now we can train. The big black mace. 8 strength, 1-handed mace. Heavy mithril breastplate. And mithril coif. Okay, now if you remember, we need 2 mithril coifs, 2 heavy mithril breastplates. When do we get heavy mithril boots? That's 5 more points. Okay. Cool. This okay. So we need 3. We only need 2 heavy mithril coifs. So let's go with that. We just need 2. Now these are 12 stam, 13 spirit, male helmets, whatever. But this also means that we have the good head on your shoulders part done. So with these 2 mithril coifs, we're gonna, first of all, it's giving us 2 points, which is great. But we have to get to 235 to get the last piece. So we're gonna have to get something somewhere. And then you have to get the boots. The heavy mithril breastplate, I'm guessing it's going to cost us a little bit more. Okay. The good thing is this is guaranteed points. I mean, honestly, 10 mithril bars, I might make a third if that's whatever. If depending on, we're going to build the other ones first, but 10 bars for a guaranteed, that's not too shabby. Because if we can get all of these done too, I might go turn those in right now. We'll take a peek and see where we're at with time. All right, so the other thing we needed was heavy mithril breastplate. Perfect. Okay, well, that's going to take like all of our mithril that we have for now. Okay. But after all this is done, it's still going to be a matter of the ornate mithril helm, 4 of them, the boots, the breastplate, all that junk. This is all just to help us learn. Now, when this is all said and done, we're going to be at 6. Okay. All right, so we're building our way up. I can get rid of a lot of these things if I just had the means. Now, This is a 15 stam heavy armor plate. Yeah. Okay, so what I want to look and see is like, for instance, let's look at ornate mithril helm. Because what does this take to learn? This is created by this. What does this require? 245. Oh man. Yeah, so for the helm we're at 245. For the ornate mithril boots, I guess let's look that up. 245, and the ornate mithril breastplate, I guess we'll look that up too. $240. Okay. And plus I have that other shield. So to make the breastplate, we are going to need, well, that'll get us up to 241, but then I'm still going to have some other things that I need. Yep.
Like this is the best junk I've ever seen. Sure, it's okay, but I see stuff this okay every day. Tell you what, you find
Yeah, now we need one more, then this will get us to 237. Yeah, we're not even to the dents. All of this stuff is, that's 275. 250. Okay, so this dude's going to teach us throughout 235. Okay. That's the only thing is I can try one more time a roll of the dice. Big Black Mace is 16, 12. That's only 10. That's a pretty good one. That steel is still giving us points. All right, we're gonna roll the dice on this last pair of mithril gauntlets and just see. Maybe I'll get lucky and I can at least learn the 235. And but we're really stuck. I mean, that'll open up. Oh, can I already do this? Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, we have all this stuff. My gold is really low from trading all this stuff. We got it. Thank goodness. Okay. That's another thing. We're just wasting so much. Not wasting, but you know. So much. All right, so we hit 235. Now we can make those heavy mithril boots. We have the leather. And we need 28 mithril now just to make the boots. Then we can go turn all three of those in, and then we'll finally be having the recipes, which require 240, 245, 250 armor class. Blacksmithing. And then at 250, we can finally start working with Dents. Which I think Dents goes with Thorium. And then Arcanite. I think you need Arcanite to be able to make that stuff at 275, but Arcanite, I think, comes from blacksmithing. I mean, it comes from alchemists. All right, cool. I'm on the fence what we do with this situation here. I guess we're going to see where the spirit takes us. That's probably good. We'll go sit in an inn so she can continue to gather up this rested XP. And next time we'll either decide to go dump those two off just to clear our inventory out some, or we'll go to Stormwind and get some of the other stuff. I mean, we got a lot. We need so much mithril, it's a joke. And we're going to run out of gold sooner or later. We have 36 gold. We're going to run out. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. We did a lot. We finished the zone. We have not only another episode in the Pipe 5x5, but even more gratifyingly, we have another zone in the Pipe 5x5. I thank you so much for watching, for listening, and tuning the heck in. And I will see all of you next time on Lore of War.